Sorry, I was just dreaming. This is Mark Chalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and today I'm sitting behind the wheel of an absolutely beautiful 1965 Pontiac GTO Convertible. Vehicle is absolutely stunning in every sense of the word. 65 GTO convertibles are a lot of people's favorite body style for the GTO. It is absolutely awesome with its design. It's just a really great looking car that's super comfortable to drive. I can't go over again how proud I am of this vehicle. What I've done is I've created a binder here, as I do for all of my cars. I've put everything in order here methodically with plastic sleeves. The first thing I want to start off by saying about this particular car is it has the Pontiac Historical Services paperwork, better known as PHS. The owners of PHS, Jim and his son JB Madison, are friends of mine. We've known them for a long time. They're always extremely helpful when I need their help regarding a Pontiac. So all this information here basically tells you exactly what this car was born as. This vehicle was born a real GTO. You will find a lot of these vehicles are cloned. They weren't originally GTOs from the factory. This particular car was, which is great. So again, it went over all the original features that this car had when it was new. It was originally this cameo ivory exterior color. It had a black convertible top and it had black interior. Obviously, it's been changed during the restoration, but again, it goes over all the features that it had. Dating back in the 80s, which is as far back of documentation that I have, according to this title here, this vehicle was actually in Warren, Indiana. It was owned by this gentleman. At some point between then and 2007, it was purchased by a gentleman in Texas, and this particular gentleman sent the car to Run Rite Classics, which is a well-respected classic car restoration facility. He essentially had an open checkbook, and he had them do a methodical restoration. There is over $150,000 in receipts that are all documented within this binder of how much money was invested in this particular car. I've spoken to the owner, Chuck Wool of Run Rite Classics. He went over a lot of the information for me of the restoration. There's some pictures here that will clearly show how well done this was. It was done better than it came from the factory. That was the plan. A lot of the sheet metal was replaced during the restoration. All the gaps were measured to perfection. It, of course, has the GTO hood with that famous hood scoop, similar to what you'd see on some other cars like a Ford Mustang Shelby. Kind of had something very similar to that. A really cool deal. Of course, the front end of the GTO with the double stacked T3 headlights is awesome. But again, the hood, the doors, the deck lid, they all open and close absolutely beautifully. And I cannot describe in words how straight this body is. The body is absolutely magnificent, and the color of the car really fits it well. It's a GM Polar White. They obviously decided to change the original color and give it a little bit more pop. Before the car was cleared with 8 coats of clear, they actually did some custom emblem work, which is on the front grille. It's on the lower part of the front fenders. It's also a pinstripe that runs down the whole side of the vehicle. It has some items on the back of the quarters and also on the back deck lid as well. They hand painted all that. They did a beautiful job, and then they cleared it, again with 8 coats of clear, so it's buried very tastefully underneath. So again, the bodywork and paint on this vehicle is at the highest level of quality. This is something that you could take to a show and definitely win a Best Paint award. It's done to that level of quality. Speaking of awards, before I forget, this vehicle actually was judged. It was judged twice. Originally, it went to the GTOAA Nationals. It scored a really good score here. Let me just pull this out, which was a 483 of 500 maximum points. They also took the car to an ISCA show where it did extremely well. It got first place there. That's included. And then more recently, after the people that had the car restored had sold it, the gentleman who had purchased it, he actually sent it back to Run Rite Classics to actually have them refreshen it a little bit. And then he took the vehicle and had it judged again at the GTOAA Nationals. It scored a 389 of a possible 400 points, which led it to a Gold Concours Award, which is actually here. It still has the original plastic. I put all the original judging sheets behind here, so everything is included. I also made copies of them. You will see this was in 2018, Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, Concours Gold Award. It even has the VIN number of the vehicle and the year that it was awarded. Also included with the car is the Legend magazine, which again documents the award this car won. Here's a picture of the car. Obviously the top is up and the rear quarter windows are up, but it's a super piece. Don't take my word for it, but take the judge's word for it and spectators and things like that. So once again, getting back into the exterior of the vehicle, everything on the outside of this vehicle was replaced. It's all brand new. Talking about the wipers, talking about this beautiful stainless trim here that wraps around the windows, the window frames, the front grille, the headlights, the bumpers, the fender trim, the lower molding, the back panel and the rear of the vehicle, all the lights, everything is brand spanking new on this car. Again, it presents at a super high quality level of restoration. The car sits on Hurst wheels. These are reproduction Hurst wheels that fit it like a glove. The wheels are wrapped with a redline tire. They look really, really nice. It's kind of the perfect error correct look for this car. So I think they did a great job. The convertible top, which is a power top, obviously we have it down now, is black. So it really kind of breaks up some of the white in this metallic red interior. It kind of gives it a nice accent, which matches the steering wheel, the floor mats, the console, etc. Now, there's 2 tops covers that are included. One is the typical boot that you find with most vehicles. The other one is a fiberglass handmade tonneau cover, which is actually a 2-piece cover, which actually you could use to cover the top if you didn't want to use the boot. They invested about 80 hours into making that tonneau cover, which is really cool. Getting into the interior of this car was originally black. Once again, they wanted to change the color during the restoration, make the car pop. This is a correct color for a 65 GTO. It's called metallic red. It's a really, really soft red here. They obviously did the entire dash. It's in beautiful condition. It's got the simulated wood here. All of the gauges are brand new. It does have a RPM gauge, which is really cool. It also has all new hardware. This is a steering wheel that we put on at MS Classic Cars. This is a Budnick Speedway 14-inch steering wheel, which really fits it nicely. It has a Pioneer radio. We actually installed that radio here at MS Classic Cars as well. It has a CD player. It's got all the latest, greatest stuff that you'd expect with a modern stereo. And it also has air conditioning. It has a new, modern, classic air conditioning system, heating system that works absolutely beautiful. We fully serviced that at MS Classic Cars, so we've gone through all of that. It obviously has this beautiful black full-length console here with this Hurst shifter and this black Hurst shift knob. All the door panels are brand new. The bucket seats are new. Carpeting's new. As I mentioned before, it has black floor mats. We added those here at the dealership as well. So this interior is basically brand spanking new, and it does have seat belts on the bucket seats as well. Getting into the trunk compartment of this vehicle, they did a beautiful, beautiful job with the trunk compartment. Rather than doing what a lot of people do, and that's just spray it with the trunk splatter spray, and then add like a trunk mat. What they did with this trunk is they boxed it, so they kind of boxed it all off. They upholstered all of the material in black leather. It looks really, really classy. You definitely have to check that out within our photos that are posted on our website. Talking about the engine compartment, the engine compartment is highly detailed. The back side of that hood was painted body color. They did a beautiful job painting it. The underside of the hood is as nice as the top side. The firewall was completely shaved, so it's nice and smooth. It has a real clean look. Everything in the engine compartment has been restored or replaced. It has new hinges, all new clamps, all new bolts, fasteners, things like that. The most impressive part of the engine compartment, obviously, is the heart of the vehicle, which is the believed to be original. It's hard to know if they're truly original because they don't have VIN stamps on them, but it's believed to be the original 389 motor. It's a great motor. During the restoration, the decision was made after Run Rite Classics actually rebuilt the motor. They decided to add this here, which is actually the Barry Grant triple induction 6-shooter intake and carburation system. The receipts document this was almost $3,000 just for this alone. So the original motor, which was a stock rebuild with a mild cam, it has I think a 096 cam if I'm not mistaken. Of course they rebuilt it to run on today's fuel and things like that. But with that system that's here and that's been applied to the engine, it's got somewhere around 350 horsepower, so it's the perfect amount of horsepower for a car this size. The engine is dressed with chrome air cleaners, chrome valve covers. It's got chrome wire separators, which look really, really nice. The engine is cooled by a massive aluminum radiator, and the engine actually breathes through a polished stainless steel Pipes Street Pro exhaust system. It sounds super, super nice, which you'll hear in a minute when I start it. The engine is actually coupled to a 4-speed Muncie date-coded transmission, so it's got the correct transmission for the year. Obviously, the engine is correct as well. The power is transferred to the pavement through a 12-bolt posi rear end. That rear end was again rebuilt during the restoration time, as everything else was rebuilt, and it has 23 gears, so it's got great gears for highway driving as well as city driving and things like that. Now, talking about the undercarriage, this is a car that I would say is highly detailed underneath. It is definitely mirror quality. The underside of the body was painted gloss black, so it's in beautiful condition. Everything underneath the car was restored. It has power steering, so the steering system works beautifully. It has power brakes with front discs that stop really nicely, and it also has a fully custom suspension system that consists of custom upper and lower control arms, KYB shocks, things of that nature. Even the fuel tank is in beautiful condition. So the undercarriage of this, again, is at a very, very high level. I'm very, very proud of this car. It's not very often that you can find a 65 GTO convertible that's done like this. So you got to make sure you check out this vehicle For a complete description with tons of photos and a video, make sure that you visit msclassiccars.com. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and start it, and I'm going to let you listen to how beautiful it runs. Now, again, before I start this, I want to make one comment. We had not started this vehicle in probably, I don't know, maybe a week and a half. I got in it, I pumped the gas pedal a few times. By the time the key was in the on position, it was running. And because it didn't require, obviously, a choke or anything like that, it was literally sitting there idle within seconds. So again, I let it warm up outside for maybe just about 30 seconds prior to pulling it back inside here. So again, I'm going to go ahead and start it, show you how beautiful it runs. It starts right up. Again, I give the credit to my mechanics who do a great job at MS Classic Cars. If you don't know, if you haven't been following us, we're the only dealership in the country, I'm saying classic car dealership, who services every car we sell. We document the work with an invoice. So that is all here. We invested a total of $7,109 in this car. It's going to be posted within our description. Make sure you check it out. This seat actually just moved backwards a little bit. I'm going to move it forward here. And I'm going to go ahead and start it again. Listen how beautiful it runs. It starts right up every time. So once again, feel super confident when you're buying a car from MS Classic Cars. These cars look beautiful. They perform beautiful. There's nothing for you to do except get in them and enjoy them. Appreciate you watching. Thank you.